India is an ancient civilization, rich in diversity, both of culture and geography. The bountiful forests and rivers of the Western Ghat region of southern India are a treasure trove of the ancient land. Biligiri Ranga Betta, popularly known as BR Hills of southern Karnataka, is a fascinating stretch of hilly tracts and foothills, providing an idyllic environment where wild elephants roam freely in the deep serenity of the rich green deciduous forests. These forests also are a habitat for the tiger, leopards, bison, deer, and the like. The forest regions of Yalandur, Chamrajnagar, and Kozhegala taluks, and the hilly tracts of BR Hills are inhabited by a tribe known as Soligas, who identify themselves as children of bamboo, which in essence means the children of forests. The Soligas seem to have lived here for thousands of years. Several megalithic burial sites have been discovered recently at BR Hills, which are as old as 800 to 1000 BC. The Soliga worship nature. A huge champaka tree known as Dodda Sampige Mara is in fact their deity. The Soligas also worship the sun. For them, the sun is a god who moves the world, who travels as a burning deity in the sky. Roti Habba, meaning the festival of bread, is performed in the deep forests. The bread cakes are made out of the hand-ground ragi flour in sacred fire by the side of a brook. The water from the brook is used in making the doughs because it is unpolluted. After offering the bread to the deity, the bread is distributed to the community as sacred food. Sharing is a tribal value in any land, and it is so in Soliga community too. They share the food with neighbors, and as a result, nobody goes hungry in the community. Similarly, they share their crops also after each harvest. Thus, even those who haven't been able to cultivate get a share in the produce. The Soliga culture is replete with song and dance. Looking at the plight of the poor Soligas, Dr. Sudarshan came into their lives as a dedicated medical practitioner and began to serve them, visiting them in their own produce.
I came to BR Hills in 1980. Started the work in a small hut. One of the workers in BR Hills used to help me. We used to go to tribal hamlets. They were suspicious and they were not ready to receive us. They would hide themselves in the forest. Gradually, I could establish rapport with them. They started visiting our health clinic, which was a small hut. The front portion used to be the clinic, and behind I used to live. There is a peculiar disease amongst the Soligas here. It's called sickle cell anemia, which is also found in the blacks in Africa. So this is found only amongst the Aboriginal people in India. So we have a sickle cell anemia screening program. We identify them and treat them. Earlier they used to die within 20-30 years of their lifespan, but now we have sickle cell anemia patients living up to 50-55 years. In terms of health, we have very good statistics. We monitor all their health status. It shows that the infant mortality rate has come down, the maternal mortality is 0, and the nutritional status of the children has improved.
Together with friend Jayadeva and a few tribal chieftains, a humble beginning was made, which in due course was to become an educational and health center in a sprawling, spacious campus called Vivekananda Girijana Kalyana Kendra. In order to achieve the above objectives, the VGKK has taken on hand various programs. The VGKK runs an 18-bedded tribal hospital with inpatient, outpatient, and mobile clinics. As many as 70 patients a day come and receive treatment at the outpatient ward. The inpatient ward has 18 beds, and the patients do come from far-off hamlets to receive the much-needed treatment.
Tribal women who need cesarean section, they conduct deliveries in squatting posture. Maybe that's one of the main reasons. The gravity helps and the pelvic muscles can contract better. So we have very few obstetric complications.
There is a specialty in deliveries we conduct. We do it by making the mother squat, not in the lying position. We test the mother and put the organs of the child in proper position, head below and legs above. We have performed successful deliveries, many times preventing a possible cesarean operation.
The mobile medical unit operates in the interior PODUs and not only treats the patients there, but brings to the base hospital those who need the inpatient care and treatment. The clinical laboratory has the facilities to perform all tests like urine, sputum, blood, etc., including the sickle cell disease testing, which is common in Soliga community. The laboratory is managed by a tribal youth technician who holds a diploma degree in the subject. A 30 MA X-ray equipment is also managed by a tribal youth holding a diploma course in the concerned subject. The Soliga tribal girls have been trained as female health workers and posted in remote tribal areas. They take care of pregnant mothers, conduct deliveries, immunize children, and other tribals. Education of tribal children plays a key role in the development of tribals. And there is a specialty in the education such as emphasis on maintaining tribal identity and culture, vocational education, stress on environmental consciousness, and the like. The VGKK has emphasized on educating the tribal children in their own dialect, which is specific to their culture, environment, and language. The focus is also on environmental education, value-based education, vocational education, and experiential learning.
A child learns through experience, and here in the forest there are ample opportunities for the child to learn through experience. I see a long-term result in terms of the tribal community becoming a big force to reckon with and achieving self-reliance in due course.
School children are also trained in dairy farming. They love cows and take care of them. Similarly, gardening and agriculture form a part of their education. This education is very helpful when they return to their villages. Look at this refreshing routine. Prayers are offered before every meal. Clean, nutritious, and hygienic food is served to the students 3 times a day. The students, after completing the high school level, could continue at the VGKK either by taking a course in forestry or the pre-university course. On the whole, various educational courses conducted by the VGKK have produced a number of graduates and postgraduates who proudly speak of their alma mater.
I'm very happy because I'm one of the product of this Vivekananda Girijana Kalyana Kendra. Because I studied here since my childhood. When I was 6 to 7 year old, at that time Dr. Sudarshan came from Bangalore and he was settled here in one of the huts, and he in that hut he was living, and at that time he gathered 6 children. Among them I am also one of them, and where actually doctor was teaching us in a better way, and he was giving medicine for the tribal people, and he was teaching all the primary school, all classes and all. There was no teacher at that time.
Micro-planning is an important component in rural education. A village education committee is involved in carrying out the planning. In order to improve the economic conditions of the Soliga tribal youth, various skilled training and entrepreneurial developmental programs are being organized by VGKK. These ventures are run on a cooperative basis by the Soliga tribals themselves. There are a number of entrepreneurial units run by the Soligas under the cottage industry setup promoted by VGKK. Let's look at some of their activities. The honey making unit, where fresh honey is extracted from the forest. The food processing section, where a variety of pickles, fruit juices, root juices, and jams are made. They recycle a lot of material like waste cloth and waste paper and make a fine quality handmade paper. Writing paper and cardboard are also made in this section. Similarly, there is a section where good quality notebooks are produced. The tribal youth are also engaged in screen printed products. In the handloom weaving section, beautiful saris are made and found good market. The leaves of certain trees are converted here into cups and plates, which are hygienic, biodegradable, and are preferred by the eco-tourists. Lovely shaped candles are also produced by the Soligas. The Training cum Production Center has 4 sections: tailoring section, knitting section, cane section, and bamboo, in addition to coir mat making unit. A wide-ranging products are made here under different sections. The VGKK has played a key role in organizing the Soliga tribal community at various levels, thereby empowering them to solve their own problems, assert their rights, and effectively stop the exploitation. As a result, the Soligas have been able to design their own low-cost houses, acquire fishing nets and boats, and start fishery in their neighboring lake. The BR Hills Range, located at the far east edge of the Western Ghats, is considered to be a live link between the Eastern and Western Ghats, facilitating an active exchange of gene pools between them. Thus, the BR Hill Sanctuary serves as an important biological bridge for biota of the entire Deccan Plateau. A new project has come into being with the objective of conducting the biodiversity of the region in collaboration with ATRI and the Forest Department. To achieve sustainable harvesting of non-timber forest produce without endangering the biodiversity, the tribal people have been trained in participatory resource monitoring. The people themselves monitor the quality of resources, levels of extraction, and the regeneration of those plants and trees. This is done through resource mapping techniques by the people themselves. This prevents over-harvesting and enables them to achieve sustainable harvesting of non-timber forest produce. Conserving the endangered species is another important task of the project. In addition to the study of plants, the impact of human and other interventions on birds and butterflies is assessed and data used for conservation. The Soligas are known to practice agriculture without disturbing the forest. They don't use fertilizers, don't over-harvest, and grow as many as 10 to 14 types of food and vegetable crops, such as millets, pulses, tubers, etc., which provide an excellent example of agrodiversity. Karuna Trust is an integrated rural development project affiliated to VGKK. The project covers Yalandur Taluk with a population of 72,000 people in 40 villages and nearly 240,000 people in 215 villages of T. Narsipura Taluk. The Karuna Trust was founded mainly to address leprosy, which was hyper-endemic in this area, but later extended to cover other health developmental programs. Health and integrated development are part of the socio-economic programs of Karuna Trust. The prevalence of leprosy, which was about 21.4% in 1987, has been brought down to 0.32 in about a decade's time. Multi-drug therapy had been introduced since 1987 and nearly 1,200 patients are completely cured. Rehabilitation of the leprosy patients with disability is being done by providing MCR footwear, physiotherapy, and surgical reconstruction. Hot water epilepsy, which is quite prevalent in these regions, is also being studied. Tuberculosis control, which was taken up in 1992, started with the training of workers at the National Tuberculosis Institute, Bangalore. Supervised chemotherapy with emphasis on sputum smear positive cases has been adopted. The tuberculosis patients are taking full course of the treatment and getting cured. The major cause of blindness in India is cataract. Therefore, the blindness control program aims at early diagnosis of cataract cases by health workers and motivating them for cataract surgery. At the community-based rehabilitation center, nearly 1,150 disabled people have been identified and services provided to them. The program includes surgical correction of physical disability, physiotherapy, providing prosthetics like crutches, tricycles, artificial limbs, hearing aids, and the like. By promoting self-help groups and setting up programs for the development of women and children, the Trust has tried to bring about the socio-economic development of women. The Herbal Medicine Processing Unit is a unique venture. The unit manufactures churnas, meaning powders, tailas, meaning oils, and aristas, meaning juices, and supplies them to the market. The prices are within the reach of the poor people. Moreover, the herbal medicines made to the strict specifications are much welcome because they are very effective and do not have contraindications. Thus, looking at the tremendous efforts put in by Dr. Sudarshan in building up the VGKK over the past 15 years, the Right Livelihood Foundation bestowed upon him the prestigious award, namely the Right Livelihood Award in 1994, which is considered the alternative Nobel Prize. Considering the yeoman service of Dr. Sudarshan to the tribal community and the recognition of his work by the international society, the Government of India honored him on 30th March 2000 by awarding him the Padma Shri.
I want to share something with the youths of this country. Having worked in rural and tribal areas for the last 25 years, this type of work, there may not be economic security, but I found there is tremendous inner satisfaction, joy and fulfillment in doing this type of work. I can assure the youths of this country that by doing this type of work, they will get much more greater fulfillment than what they can get through conventional way of life.